If you're having suicidal thoughts or feelings or feel like you have no hope, please call 988. There, you can talk to someone who not only cares about your story, but cares about you. Please reach out today. Thomas P. Murphy once said, "Minutes are worth more than money. Spend them wisely." At Minutes Wisely, we take that to heart. Our mission is to decrease veteran suicide by providing life-changing experiences for veterans, first responders, and Gold Star families. We believe that we can make a lasting impact by rekindling a sense of purpose and fostering community through sponsored tickets to sporting events. These experiences are not just about the game, they're about the moments that can change lives. A simple sporting event can boost joy and instill a sense of renewed hope and purpose for those who have served. Join us in making a difference. Become a moment maker and empower a veteran with rediscovered hope. Visit minuteswisely.com for more information and to get involved. Together, we can make every moment count.
Greetings and welcome back to another episode of Tomorrow Needs You. Today we're here with Jason Ayers. How you doing, sir?
Well, how about you?
I'm doing good. Doing good. Just found out I'm going to be a grandfather again. My youngest daughter is pregnant, 12 weeks.
Awesome. Well, congrats.
Yes, thank you. Pretty awesome. Sorry, be our second granddaughter. Yes. So what we do is we just get veteran stories. I know that you're a big hunter. And so I just wanted to bring you on and talk about your organization and what you guys do over there. But before we get started with that, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us who Jason Ayers is?
Well, again, my name is Jason Ayers. I live in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Only child, raised on a farm, and it was boring, if you can imagine that. But anyways, I had a severely handicapped mother basically throughout all my life, and that taught me a lot. It taught me how to care. It taught me how to give back. And, even in times when she didn't have the means to help, she still, tried to help. And, we lost her in 2018. And then, I decided to keep on, giving back. It's just a passion of mine, man. I like seeing people smile. And it doesn't always, have to do with money. It's just doing something for them. And as far as my personal background, military wise, I was in the Air Force, based down in Herbert Field, Florida, with AC-130 gunships, Puffs of Magic Dragon, Spooky, that sort of thing. Deployed 5 times overseas, Iraq, Afghanistan, other countries, Southeast Asia. Loved every minute of it. Still got some lifelong friends from the Air Force, talk to quite often. I came home, started a business, veterans pressure washing, got it off the ground, and sold it in June of 2024 to a real good buddy of mine, David Smallwood. He's now, taking control of it and running it well. And since then, I've just kind of semi-retired and enjoying life. And I've been with the Fallen Outdoors Team Tennessee since 2018. And, I've been very passionate about it. And now that, my time has come to be semi-retired, I'm now full throttle with it. I bought an RV, that I use to carry veterans hunting. And so they actually stay with me. They don't have to get a hotel, and I provide all the food and everything. And it's a big, camaraderie type thing. It's, hey, let's unwind, be yourself, and when we get done with all that, we go hunting.
How do you find veterans to take?
Well, it just depends. I mean, of course, the organization, we have a large presence on Facebook, and our group, it's nationwide. But so there's tons of veterans on a certain page that we have that are looking for trips. And as pro staffers, we're the ones posting them, and they have the opportunity to jump in. Now, if I have a friend or if I know a veteran struggling, I mean, I don't even have to know them, and they reach out to me and say, "Man, I need some time in the woods or time in the water or on the water, not in the water." I'll take them. There's no questions asked. Let's go. I don't need your money. Let's just go.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you guys do fishing also?
We do. Deer season just ended January 4th of this year. And fishing is what I do right now, along with a little mix of hog hunting. Yeah, fishing, I'll be doing that till the heat of the summer.
What kind of boat do you have?
Well, I've got so my dad bought a boat that he never uses. It's a 18-foot Triton with a 150 Merc on the back of it. That's for the big water. If I want to go to like Lake Gunnersville in Alabama, or if I want to go on Percy Priest and go fast, I'll use that. And I can carry people on that boat. Now, if I'm going to go just me, then I'll go in my kayak. It's a Old Town Autopilot 120. It's got a trolling motor, GPS. It's a lazy man's way of fishing, but I just point it and go. There's no paddling.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I actually thought about getting one of those, but I don't know.
They're nice. They're very stable. If that's what your concerns are. I'm 6'3", 280, and it holds me just fine. Now, you're not going to go anywhere fast. I mean, top speed's only 4 miles an hour, but if you want to go across the lake, it may take you 10 minutes to get there, but you're there. So
yeah, I think it would be fun. Go out there, go fishing in one of those things.
Yeah, and it takes waves really well. I mean, if a boat comes running by you, I mean, you just sit there. It'll rock you a little bit, but I mean, it's not going to throw you out by any means. I've never been scared in it or any. I've never even taken on water because of a wave. Now, if it's windy and you're going into the wind, yeah, you may catch a little bit of water off the front, but I mean it's not. It has scupper holes in the bottom, so it drains. So.
Yeah. What do you do with the guys that want to go fishing but they've never used a gun before?
Go fishing?
I mean, go hunting with a.
Yeah, well, I haven't actually run across that yet. Most of the vets that apply for these trips, they're already, they have the weapons, the bow, the muzzleloader, or the rifle, but, they don't have the property to hunt, or they haven't been out in forever, So my only requirement is just make sure your gun is hitting where it's supposed to, and your muzzleloader and your bow. The last thing we want is injured animals in the woods, But as long as if they tell me that their weapon is sighted in and ready to go, then we're going. So now, in the situation that a veteran doesn't have a weapon, I generally have extras that they can use that are already sighted in, but I highly prefer them bring their own because they're used to that weapon.
Yeah, that makes sense. How'd you get involved with this organization?
It was in 2017. I saw an event come across Facebook about taking kids hunting on a juvenile hunt, and I had property to hunt, but I mean, I saw it come across, and they were taking 10 juveniles, so I signed my son up for it, and actually, we were one of the 10 that were chosen, and so we went and met the team and everything, and I just fell in love with it, man. We saw deer. It was a huge property, so we weren't close to each other as far as me and the other dads and other juveniles. But we saw deer, and then I went to one of their meetings here in Murfreesboro, and I asked them. I said, "How do I help? How can I become involved?" They said, "Well, all you got to do is apply. All you do is go hunting like you normally do, and just carry a veteran with you. That's all you do." So I applied, and I've been with them. This is year number 9 right here.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome, man. I love that.
So just a good way to give back, man. And it's, if you enjoy hunting or fishing, I mean, it's simple. I mean, it's, you get to talk with your buddies, you get to make new friends. Heck, one of my veterans I brought last year, I'm not going to say his name to keep the names quiet on here, but he told me his story, and he was actually a flight attendant on Air Force One.
What?
Yes, so that was pretty cool. He told me about 2 presidents that he worked under on the aircraft. It was really cool to see that and hear that story.
Yeah, I bet that's pretty wild. Yeah, I couldn't imagine I wonder if you ever heard conversations between the president and Congress or anything like that there.
I don't know. He didn't really go into that, but I'm sure there had to be some kind of a security clearance, probably top secret to be on that plane, I assume.
Yeah, without a doubt.
It was cool though. He actually lives right here in Murfreesboro. I believe he said he was color guard or something or honor guard for his base, and then he applied to be for flight attendant and was chosen. So it was it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was. I didn't even think about flight attendants on the Air Force One.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, what's your favorite style of like hunting medium? Is it a rifle, shotgun, bow and arrow, muzzle loader?
Man, I'm gonna have to go with muzzleloader. Archery is fun. It's a challenge because your range is very restricted. You can have the nicest bow out there. I mean, these bows now they'll go for $2,000 to $3,000. And they advertise you can shoot up to 100 yards, but you have to be very, very steady, with the bow and make sure it has enough energy when it makes impact with the animal. And plus, that time of year, bow season, the ticks, the chiggers are out, snakes, and all that. It's okay, but it's not my favorite. But muzzleloader, if you want to think about the old Davy Crockett style, when you pull the trigger, the smoke comes out of the end of the gun. That's what we're talking about here. But the new style guns, the smoke still comes out, but it's not the same traditional style as what I'm talking about, or from back then. But you only get one shot. So you have to make that one shot count. To a rifle season, like this year was a tough season for me. I had a lot of friends that complained about this season. Deer just weren't moving and that sort of thing. And if the season gets tough, then I'll get out the rifle, during rifle season. But most of the time, if it's rifle season, I hunt with a muzzleloader just to make it a little bit tougher, So
Yeah. What are the time frames for each one? Like the dates?
okay, well, that's a good question. So the last Saturday in September of every year begins archery season. It goes until pretty much the end of October, and then it shuts down for one weekend, and then that's juvenile season for the kids. Funny story, before I married my wife, I told her about juvenile season, and she thought that meant that the adults went out and shot the baby animals, the juveniles. Had to educate her on that, but no, it's the other way around. But during juvenile season, it's really cool. The parents, guardians, they cannot hunt. It's only, or I'm sorry, they can hunt, but they cannot pull the trigger. Okay, it has to be the juvenile, doing all the work. But so then juvenile season, then it's 1 week of archery, and then 2 weeks of muzzleloader right after that. Then, excuse me, the Saturday before Thanksgiving is always the opening day of rifle season. So that's when it's generally getting pretty cold outside, and that's when the rut season is in full effect here in Tennessee. So, and that lasts all the way January 4th is when it ended this year, and then this past weekend was the last juvenile hunt for the kids. There's 2 juvenile hunts at the beginning of the season, at the end of the season. So it's long. I think I calculated it with all the days. It's 104 days out of the year. Deer season is open.
Oh, wow.
So, and a lot of people don't know this, but during archery, muzzleloader, and rifle season, you can kill 3 does per day. So that's a lot of deer.
That is.
Now you can only kill 2 bucks per year, no matter what weapon you're using.
Oh, okay.
So that's the general guidelines.
What's the deal with the disease that's in these deer?
So there's a couple going around that I'm aware of. CWD is probably the first one that comes to mind, chronic wasting disease, and then EHD. Not sure what it stands for, but I'm sure the D is disease. It's CWD, in my opinion, is one of the ones that's affecting the deer population right now. In the county I primarily hunt in, which is Perry County, the county seat is Lobelville, or could be Linden, one of the two. It could be Linden. It is the county seat, but I hunt in the city called Lobelville. But deer population this year was way down, and the surrounding counties are in what's called the CWD zone. Deer have been detected with CWD in those counties. It's a nasty disease, as of what I'm told. I've never seen a deer with it, but they just look very poor. Their ribs are showing, they're just malnourished. And again, I'm not highly educated on it, but I believe it's some kind of a brain type disease. neural type thing. And if you're in, okay, so funny story, but not funny story. So this year, this coming season, 2026, 2027, is the first season ever that Tennessee is going to allow baiting, which means corn piles and that sort of thing. But if you're in a CWD county, you cannot bait. So that's, 1/3 of the state right now. Matter of fact, I believe Williamson just got involved, just became a CWD, and Dixon just became a CWD county. So it's coming towards our area here in Murfreesboro, Nashville, pretty quickly. But there's a lot of debate about that. I don't want to get in that debate, but
Right.
some hunters believe in it, some don't. I don't know either way. It's way above my pay grade.
Yeah.
I just know that this year I did not see near as many as last year.
When you harvest a deer, do you have to take it in to get it tested?
You don't have to. No, it's optional. When you go to check it in on your phone, the TWRE app, there's actually an option that says, "Do you want to have it tested for CWD?"
So the county that you hunt in, how far away is that from Rutherford?
To my camper, which is on the Tennessee River in Perry County, it's 108 miles. And my hunting property is just down the road. It's like 4 miles down the road from the campsite.
Yeah. Did you ever fish down there too?
Yes, yeah. I took my kayak down there. The Tennessee River is, like I said, right next door. And the campground I stay in, they actually have a ramp that we can use. And went out there, actually caught quite a few bass and caught a few catfish as I was out there.
Yeah. Do you leave your camper out that way, or do you bring it back?
Yep. So I know the campground owner pretty well, and she let me bring it out there mid-September and didn't charge me because she knew what I was doing. But I did have to pay, of course, for October, November, December, a reduced amount, thanks to her. But yes, it does stay there the entire time that I have Starlink. I just installed a new continuous water heater in it, so the hot water never stops. Previously, we did military showers, 3 minutes and you're out kind of thing. But yeah, like I said, I love cooking. I love, being around the veterans, and just sharing time with them. It's new people, and that's what's cool about it is you continuously meet new people all the time.
Yeah, I love that. How does that Starlink work? Does that work pretty good out there?
Yes, works great. Of course, this campground, it's in the middle of nowhere, but Starlink doesn't care. I mean, it's you have a little, I'm going to call it a dish, but it's a rectangle type device that stands on a tripod, and you point it towards the north sky, and you have to just kind of get the alignment right on your phone. You'll see the alignment on your phone, excuse me, and it'll say full service, and then it does its calibration and all that. And within 5 minutes, you're ready to go. I mean, you're online. And as a way of testing it, I got 2 TVs inside the camper. They're both smart TVs, and I connected those to the router of Starlink. They were on YouTube TV watching live, or watching TV. And I went on my phone connected to the Starlink and went Facebook Live all at the same time, and there was never a hiccup. So it's quick. One of the cool things the dish has on it, which we don't obviously use too much in Tennessee, it has a snow melt feature. So if it snows outside and starts sticking to the dish, you can push a button in the app on the phone, and it'll actually heat the dish up and melt the snow.
Oh, Elon, he thought of everything.
Yeah, pretty smart guy.
At least. So if veterans want to get a hold of you to go hunting or fishing, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Well, the first and best way I would encourage everybody, if you're in the Tennessee area, Kentucky, Tennessee, anywhere in the southern region, go on Facebook and look up the Fallen Outdoors Southern Region. You just join the group. It'll ask you 3 questions or a series of questions to verify that you are a veteran, and then you'll be approved. Once you're on there, you'll see all the trips that are currently posted, and you can apply for them. I'm on the page, so you just search my name, and you can send me a message if you need. Now, we are highly encouraged to do a random draw, so everybody has their, has an equal chance. However, I can still take vets out that need assistance right now. I'm not going to turn them down.
What do you guys use for your random draws?
So what we do is we make a post about the trip, and then every person that comments, we'll just assign them a number. So 1 through whatever, and then at the end of the time, because we always specify this drawing will end on a certain day and time, we take the number of vets. Let's say there's 20 that applied for it, and then we go to the website that's called random.org, put in 1 to 20, and submit. And whatever number comes up, we screenshot it, go back on the page, and that's the winner.
Oh, that's
So
pretty.
we don't do the good old boy system. We don't handpick.
Yeah, I was just curious because I do something similar for Minutes Wisely, where I send veterans to sporting events, and I'm also trying to stay away from the good old boy, like send my friends to these great events. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I always tell everybody, like, even if like we've had beef before, I don't really care, man. If you're a veteran, you served our country, I'll do whatever I can to help you out. I don't carry beef or like some people do. Like, I'm not going to mention any names, but yeah, that's dumb.
Yeah, I'm not into the drama, man. If a vet needs help, they're going to get help. I mean, I'll do whatever. I'll bend over backwards for them. I'm going to minimize this screen just for a second because I have the last year's. Let's see, trying to look at end of years. There we go. So we carried 92 veterans last year on 56 trips.
Oh, that's awesome.
Was our end of year totals. Our goal was 100 vets, but we were a few short. That's fine. It was more than last year, so that's what we're trying to do. We just added quite a few staff members to our team within the past a week or two, and they seem to be real strong candidates. So this year, 100 plus should be very easy to hit.
Yeah, so that's another thing. If somebody wanted to help out, if there's somebody out there that loves to hunt and fish and they want to jump on board, pretty much the same thing. Just reach out to you guys on Facebook.
You can reach out to me personally, and I'm going to ask you, my first question, hey, or my first response, hey, thank you for messaging me, being of interest and that sort of thing. But, I'm going to ask for just a brief background about yourself. Tell me about, your brief military history, of course, redact everything that's sensitive. Just give me a brief history, then, brief history or brief personal bio. Tell me who you are. And then the main question I'm going to ask you is why do you want to help? Like, why, what's driving you? And if you're out to fulfill a resume, this probably ain't for you. Okay.
Yeah.
But if you're out to truly help and be with other vets that need help, this is it. I mean, this is the way to do it. I mean, I'll be 100% honest. I mean, I need help, so being with other vets helps me. So it's somebody to talk to and we'll just hear different stories.
Yeah, I'm very similar here. When I take vets to these events, like I think I get more out of it than they do because I just love being with vets and just you know, vets seem to open up more when they're with other vets. If you start talking around a civilian, they're like jaw drops to the ground. They're like, "What the hell?
Right.
What's wrong with you?"
That's ironic you mentioned that. A few of our staffers polled some of the veterans they took with them on trips and asked, how can we improve? What trips would you like to see in the future and that sort of thing? Believe it or not, the majority of the vets did not specify any certain trip. They just wanted to be on a trip to get out. Now, I thought that was kind of cool. I thought they would say, let's go on an elk hunt or let's go on a bear hunt, something really extravagant, which we do, bear hunts. We don't do elk hunts right now. But I just thought they would choose that. But no, they just said, I just want to go somewhere. So
That's cool. Yeah, just get out.
Mhm.
Camaraderie.
That's it. Talking the talk, man.
Yeah, for sure. Do you guys do turkey?
We do. Unfortunately, I don't turkey hunt because that's during my fishing season. So
Yeah.
I'm normally on the boat, on the water by then. That's when I go to Lake Gunnersville in Alabama and fish. But yes, the team does offer turkey hunts. Chad Phillips is one of the guys on our team, real great guy, and he's big into turkey hunting. A matter of fact, that's a good lead in. in early February, we will have a booth at the National Wild Turkey Federation convention in Nashville at the Opryland, was it the hotel? And I know it's going through Valentine's Day, so that's kind of rough on the wives and girlfriends, but I'm not combined, your wives and girlfriends. But so if anybody wants to attend and, meet me or meet the team, we'll be there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
If I may, I want to add one more thing, and again, the organization is called the Fallen Outdoors. We're a nationwide nonprofit. We're based out of Washington State, and each state has their own chapter, if you will. Not every state has them, but most of them do. Team Tennessee is the largest by far in number of staffers and number of vets and trips taken. So we're kind of the pinnacle of the region. And this year, 2026, we're going to have our very first banquet to where we have, sponsors come in, vets that we've taken on trips, vets that want to go on trips, just veterans in general. I've gotten a hold of the VA. They're looking at possibly sponsoring it. Tennessee State Veterans Home is looking at sponsoring it. We got some other big names that are trying to come in. We're going to have food. We're going to have guest speakers. Live auction, silent auction, giveaways. I mean, the whole thing there, and it's going to be held at Copper Ridge. I'm sure you're familiar with that. It's here in Murfreesboro. It's on August the 15th at 5 p.m. So right in the heat of the summer.
Yep.
And if you haven't been to Copper Ridge, it's absolutely beautiful. One of my old bosses, he owns it, and his wife Sherry. And they're wonderful people, but inside of Copper Ridge is all cedar, and it smells really good in there. And, it's just to me, it was kind of a clear choice because that's, cedar wood. Well, we're always hunting, and you see cedars out there, so so that was a good fit for us. And the alley on Main is going to provide food, so if you like the alley, they're going to have their food there.
If you haven't been to alley on Main, I highly suggest that you get.
I agree. The owners, Sean and Christy, are fantastic people. So, really good people.
So, how much is that banquet? Somebody wants to go to it.
Actually, I don't know yet. And the reason is we have a lunch that's coming Friday at the alley with all the officers on the board for Team Tennessee. We're meeting Friday, and we're going to finalize that. So, I don't want to give out any answer just yet. I don't know. But just know that all money raised is going back towards the veterans. We don't get paid a dime. We're a pure, volunteer organization, and everything will go back to these trips.
Awesome. Yeah, if you send me whatever information you want, I can bundle it up when I post this and get your information out. Yeah.
Sure. Will do.
Before we hang up, we're almost at 30 minutes, but before we hang up, what's your favorite fishing?
Favorite fishing? Well, I mentioned before. Oh, yeah. Well, okay. So largemouth bass. That's my favorite thing. Generally, late February, all of March, maybe even early April. Go down to Lake Gunnersville, Alabama. It's just across the border from my house, which is in Murfreesboro, to the lake is about 100 miles or so. It's a beautiful lake, mountains all around, grassy lake. It's a trophy lake that the professionals fish. I mean, there are some big fish in this lake in high numbers of bass in there. So, and during that time of year is the pre-spawn time. So where they're trying to get fat before they go on bed and lay eggs. So,
what's your favorite bait to catch those things? You doing spinners? You doing crankbaits?
I'm going to say something that some people are going to laugh at, and they're also going to criticize me on. But I love the Alabama rig. Are you familiar with that?
I am not.
Okay. Alabama rig is, if you think of a spinnerbait, but 5 of them. So it's an arm that has 5 different, like it's an umbrella. So you have two, and then 1 in the back. And they're all swimming. They act like a group of bait fish. So in Tennessee, they're legal, but you can only have 3 hooks on it. Alabama and other states, all 5 with hooks is legal.
Yeah, I'm not really familiar with that type of fishing. I'm from Michigan, so most of my fishing it's always been like a walleye or salmon or something like that on the big lakes.
Sure. We've got walleye here. It's at Center Hill. I've only caught 1 in my life because they're kind of rare there, but Center Hill is also fun. Are you familiar with that lake?
Not really.
Okay. It's about an hour from here, Smithville, Tennessee. It's real deep. Like at the dam is 170 feet deep. But late May, early June, if somebody were to grab a tube of crickets and go find a shallow area on that lake, you'll find bluegill on bed, and they are huge and they are really tasty to eat.
Yeah. Is that the lake that has like the sunken city in it? I heard.
Probably, but Percy Priest is the same way.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, there's actually flooded towns below Percy Priest as well.
That's pretty wild.
But it's been a while. I mean, since those lakes were flooded, so most of the remains are gone now. But even at Percy Priest, if you have what's called Life Scope, that's the new toy out these days, you can see bridges and things that have been blown out. They're on the bottom. It's pretty cool.
That is cool. Does anybody ever like dive those things? Have you ever seen anybody?
Don't know. I'm sure people have. I haven't heard about it.
Yeah. I just wonder if you ever saw anybody out there doing that.
No, I've seen divers looking for cars, and people don't want their cars, and they throw it in the lake, and before repossession. No, I haven't seen any divers for that purpose.
Yeah.
I do want to caution your viewers, though, if you go on Percy Priest, be ultra careful. That lake is full of rocks, and they're shallow, so you better know where you're going. Even in the summer pool, like right now, the water's down because of winter pool. So if we get a big flood, of course, the lake will fill up before anything. But summer pool is at the top of the banks, and there's rocks everywhere. The center hill is the opposite. It's deep. You can pretty much drive where you want to. So.
You ever see any snakes out there swimming around?
Well, yeah, there's snakes, and I go the opposite way. I'm not a snake guy.
That's why I asked, man. I'm scared to death of snakes.
I actually saw my first timber rattlesnake this year ever in my life. We were out at my property in Perry County. We were putting up a stand, and a buddy of mine, he freaked out right there by me. And he kept pointing and wouldn't tell me what it was. I had to look down. There's a rattlesnake. It was about 5 feet away. So we carefully went the other direction until it scurried off. So
yeah.
But it was a beautiful snake. Not that I want to touch it.
You have to wear snake boots or anything?
I don't, but I might start now after last year.
Yeah, for real. All right, man. Well, I don't want to keep you too much longer. We've been on for 35 minutes, but I want to thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it. Thank you for your service and everything that you do for our veterans. I think that's very admirable. Is there anything you want to add before we shut her down?
No, but thanks to you for having me on, the invite, and for your service as well. You do a lot for the community, and I appreciate that. I'm sure you're kind of like me. You're busy all the time with messages or, vets reaching out to you. So, we haven't crossed paths too much in our lives, but I'm sure we will one day. But we're both probably pretty busy. So, and that's the way it should be. We'll take care of each other and move forward. So,
yeah. If you ever want to go to a sporting event or something cool, let me know. And if we have tickets, I'd love to get you out there.
Well, if it's the Titans, I may watch on TV until they get better now. So,
yeah. So funny story. I have Titans season tickets for the nonprofit, and it's a struggle to get people to use those tickets. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So I probably
people want to follow a good team. I get it. So
yeah. And it's pretty sad because I love sports, and anytime I get a chance to go to a professional sport, I think it's awesome. But when you show up and the product on the field's garbage and nobody's in the stands, it's real bum.
Half the fun's being there with the whole crowd and everybody throwing beer everywhere,
Yeah, exactly. So I'm hoping for better turnouts once they go into the new stadium. So
let's hope so.
Yes. All right, man. Well, thanks for joining us again. And just hold on for 1 second after I hit the stop button. I want to make sure everything's uploaded just fine. And, to our listeners, thank you for tuning in.
Thank you.